Sexenio TV presenta.
Hi to all our friends of United States. My name is Beto Herrera and I am here with J. Mark Johnson, who is responsible for a lot of visual effects from movies like Titanic, Matrix, and some music videos from Madonna, Red Hot Chili Peppers, and Michael Jackson. Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you, Beto. It's a pleasure.
I'm going to tell something to the audience that is watching us in secsioniousa.com. As a condition to make this interview in English, you asked me to not use my natural accent in English, so I am doing the best that I can.
Please. No. You're getting me in trouble even before we start. You're trying to make trouble for me, aren't you?
Yeah. Jane, please.
Yeah.
I know that you have a lot of fans, and the movies that you have worked on, for example, Titanic is one of the most seen pictures in all the world. And so I would like to explain to our audience what did you do to that film? What was your responsibility working in that James Cameron film?
Sure. Beto, you could have an interview with many different people who worked on that film, because I think the number was hundreds of people, and they worked on it like Matrix as well, but I think even many more on Titanic. I came in sort of about halfway through the process when things were, much of it was largely shot. I worked on all of the shots where the very large boat, breaks and sinks. We made, I think there were about a dozen different models, some of them very small, some of them enormous, like full-size sections at the tail end of the ship. When Leonardo DiCaprio is about to jump off, that was built full scale. But
okay.
It depended upon the kind of shot that was needed. If you needed to see the ship at sea somewhere far away, then we had a very small model. The models, most all of them were made to break in half and sink. And then afterwards, smoke was added, and little teeny people were put inside.
Well, I am imagining how does the people that made that little boats, the scale models, when they see them break, if they were me, I would be like crying or things like that.
You mean when we're working on it? When you're working on it, it always starts off really terrible looking and looks. When you start working on something and you try to put people in there, they look really terrible and they don't look good at all. So if you're talking about the people who are working on it, it's fun because it starts to look like a person, but the emotional response really doesn't happen until the piece is really getting finished, until you get all of the drama and then you put some music and some deep resonating, instruments in there that really sort of vibrate your heart or make you fearful. It's not till all of that gets added in that the people working on it would ever feel much,
Yes, I know. And changing film, let's talk about Matrix and the iconic Neo scene where everything seems like the time stopped and everything
Yes.
goes round. And
Yes.
you told me that it was made with taking a lot of pictures. That's right?
Yes. Normally, a regular video camera, movie camera,
Okay.
makes many pictures every second, one after another. And some people, I think they were these French guys who thought of this idea beforehand, wondered what would happen if you took many pictures from different places all at once. Like, what if you put, in this case of Matrix, we had 122 cameras in a circle. It wasn't a perfect circle. They wrapped down to make it a moving shot. What happens if you take, with the cameras, one picture all at the same time? If say, Nemo jumps up and you take one picture of everything. There were some of those shots early in the movie where the woman, I've forgotten her character's name, jumps up and she's frozen in space. And the way that was done is all these cameras surrounded her and they went, well, they all fired off at the same time. But afterwards you play them back differently. So the trick in those shots was playing with time and fooling the audience and making, using many cameras in many different locations to give the impression of frozen time.
Did you need to put Keanu Reeves a lot of time suspended on something, or in order to make the shoot, or it was?
Yes, he was hanging, I think, by about 11 cables. They shot that in. I wasn't at that moment when it was being shot. That was shot in Australia. That's the sequence itself. So yes, there was lots of different angles because there's so much invested in that shot. I think it was about 18 months of working on just that shot. There were many different takes, many different versions of it shot.
Okay, to all the another part of your job that I know that you really like is the photography. You are a photographer, and can you talk us about the passion of that work of capturing in a still frame something that then becomes viral in web and you can actually Google them and see your work?
Well, I do like sharing my work. I think making the work and presenting it to the world are very much integrated.
Yes.
Yet at the same time, I know that in the making of the work, I need to be very inventive. I need to be, let's say, poetic. I need to be everything that I need as an artist to put everything into an image. It has to be as good as the work that I like best of any kind. So I try to make, at the moment of making the work, I really need it to be very good. But then the sharing of it is also, it's my way of having a dialogue with the world. And that's a real pleasure. It's part of the underlying motivation. My underlying motivation is curiosity about what I can do and the pleasure of doing it, but it's also the pleasure of having a dialogue with the world and let's say having a posture in front of the world in presenting that work.
Okay, and another, you do a lot of things. I need to say that because you not only work in cinema, you also work in music videos, and you have worked with people like Michael Jackson that passed away 5 years ago, sadly. Yeah. And how was to work with him?
On that, once again, I was part of a crew. He was very guarded, and he was sort of handled by many people. So there was always somewhat of a circle around him, let's say by comparison. I worked on a video in which his sister was also in it. The video is called Scream. It's on a spaceship. It's black and white, and it's Michael and his sister. His sister was very accessible. Michael was not. But the standards required by that entire production were very high. And at the time, it was the most expensive
video, yes.
Production. What's that?
Yes, and today it holds the Guinness record of being the most expensive musical video ever shot.
Yes, well, it was pretty incredible. We had 5 stages, gigantic film stages at Universal Studios. Normally, a big movie might get 1 or 2 stages. So there were 5 giant stages with these elaborate film sets there. A friend of mine was directing all of those, all the effects, and I was brought in I forget on this, just to do some of the animation. Most of the effects were in front of the camera, and there was only 2 of us sitting at home on our computers that did the computer-generated effects. So there was this big stage there, but only 2 of us sitting at home, 2 guys who did our own little work at home with our fancy computers at that time. We did all the effects. Things like Michael and his sister are playing a bit of a boomerang, like a ping pong game. I made that at sitting at home trying to figure out
how to do that. Yes. And did you get the chance to take a picture with Michael Jackson?
No.
Oh, that's
next
really
question.
Okay, next question. Yes, I have another question. Here, one of your friends was telling me that you went to Michoacán, Mexico, and that you know to speak a little bit in Purépecha, and to the people that are in United States, Purépecha it's a native language from Michoacán. So can you say something in that language?
No, my friend was lying to you.
Okay.
No, I can. I'm kidding. I can. I know he's sitting behind your camera or behind your screen.
He's here. He's screaming.
So there he is. He looks. Always sees a shadow of him. Yes, I spent some time in one little village there. I would love to go back. It's a little difficult, I think, right now because of the political situation there.
Yes.
But yes, I love the language there. They have this. One of the things that's pretty beautiful sounding are the greetings in the morning and the afternoon. In the afternoon, you say "Sesichuri koriskia," and someone answers you by saying "Sesichaskasa." And in the morning, you say "Sesirandini," and the answer is still the same "Sesichaskasa." It's very beautiful. Or I can say "Let's go dance," which is "Hucha waremi," or I can say "Shut up, dog." I can say a few important things.
You should try that in your next musical video. You should tell them that to the singers or the actors, and that would be pretty cool.
I did say that once to a professor at UCLA here, who had in her office, she had some sculpture, these little ceramic sculptures from Bokumichu, from this little village. And she was so proud that she had spent some time there, like an afternoon, and I had lived there for several weeks, and I was very mad at her. So I chose my words carefully and put Purépecha for her.
Okay, that was risky. That was
well, it's risky now to say that, but nothing ventured, nothing gained, I think we say.
Yeah, that's right. And we would like to thank you for talking with us in Sexenio USA. And we know that you are coming to Mexico in the next week, so we will talk with you again, and we will give some more impressions to our friends in the United States, because now Sexenio is also in the United States. So.
Great. We'll look forward to seeing it. Thanks, Beto. Pleasure talking with you.
Thanks to you, and we'll see you in next week. And thanks to all our audience that are watching us and listening to us. So thank you so much.
Thanks, Beto.
Esto fue Sexenio TV.